There was a time in educational circles when the word well-being was a bit of a dirty word. Okay, dirty might not necessarily be the best word, but I do remember a time when if you talked about well-being in the staff room, then someone around you would inevitably say that it was just another opportunity for the slackers to avoid doing any work. I really do remember a time when things were like that. I do wonder if there's still an element of that hiding in our workplaces. I've always maintained that well-being is best served as a collective and that it's a form of collective courage when we all get to hold the line together. It seems to me that in our current climate, that holding the line, being collectively courageous, has never been more important. Sadly, I think that when people talk about courage in schools, they often make it sound like it's a solo act. It's up to the principal or it's up to the management team to do all the standing firm. The leader at the front, the lone voice at the board table. And sure, that happens, but in reality, courage doesn't survive long when it's left on one person's shoulders, not in schools, and it certainly shouldn't be now. The current climate is brutal. Expectations keep stacking higher, resources don't keep pace, and there's a constant hum, or is it a roar, of expectations from everyone outside of schools, parents, media, and especially so the ministry through the pressures of the government. This job is certainly not getting any easier, and no one's pretending this job ever was, which is exactly why courage has to be collective. Collective courage isn't about everyone being bold in the same way. It's about staff, leaders and communities choosing to hold the line together. It's the Year 3 team deciding to trial a new approach to literacy, knowing there's going to be bumps, but backing each other anyway. And it's the senior leadership team presenting a united front on workload expectations, even when they know that not everyone outside the room will clap. And it's the principal saying, I don't actually have all the answers, and not only watching but expecting others to step in to share the load. I guess the truth for me is simple. Courage is easier when it's shared. Take moral courage. For example, the calling out of deficit thinking. Well, it's way less risky when colleagues echo the same values. Or social courage. Those tough conversations with parents or staff. Well, those conversations are steadier when you know that your team stands behind you. And then there's intellectual courage, the trying of new practices. Well, that only grows when the culture says, if you fall, we fall together. And how about emotional courage, that sense that it's actually okay to be vulnerable? Well, this only works if others respond with care and empathy, not judgment. And even physical courage, thankfully, on those rare but real crisis moments, well, it's only really made possible when the burden of calm is spread across many. The danger right now is that too many leaders are carrying courage like it's a solo sport, and that's actually why they're burning out. Courage without collective backing is exhausting, but courage with a team, a staff room, a community, well, that's much more sustainable. That's the kind of place that will help ensure that everyone gets to go home safely each day without the smell of burnout in their nostrils. So what can we actually do about it? I guess we start small. We name the acts of courage when we see them. We celebrate not just the outcomes, but the act of standing together. We create safety nets that say, hey, if this doesn't work out, we'll own it as a team. And we reflect often. Where did we show courage this week? What did we learn from? And most importantly, we hold that line together when the pressure comes, and it will, with a steel-like determination that outside influences and expectations simply can't break us down. Maybe this is now where the real work is. It's not just about being brave enough on your own, it's about building a culture where courage is normal, it's shared and safe. And I'm pretty sure that's where we might just rediscover our own well-being.